Hey y'all, welcome to our walkabout. And we decided to do a walkabout in our Bird Girl garden as a separate garden video. Bird Girl is such a interesting character, and we've enjoyed having her in our gardens, as we've told you, in 3 different homes. She's been with us here in this garden for 3 years, but this garden sure has changed over that time.
Yes, Belinda, it certainly has. In all 3 gardens, we've had her under oaks, and she was under an oak in this garden.
Right, but she's in full sun right now, and even though it's a chilly day, we're getting some beautiful sunshine on her, even at this moment.
Yes, it is a bright, sunny day as the sun shines on Bird Girl.
Right, even in mid-December, she's gives a pop of color, and she's a ray of sunshine in this garden.
Certainly is. And she's front and center, right in front of our house.
Yes, we placed her front and center in front of our house, and actually, this was the first garden bed that we started when we moved here. So she's very special to us. There have been lots of stories told about Bird Girl, and we'll talk about those in a later video.
Yes, we will. In fact, she's so special to us that when we created, as Belinda said, our first garden, we said, Bird Girl has to be in this garden, and it needs to be our Bird Girl garden.
Right, I think we planned this whole garden bed around her, didn't we?
We certainly did.
Right, so come along with us as we take a more slow, Southern style walkabout in our Bird Girl garden today.
Yes, come along.
From her humble beginnings under that once mighty oak, that first fall we surrounded Bird Girl with snapdragons, which we knew would give us color all winter long.
From this aerial perspective, you can see that the Bird Girl garden sits front and center of our house. As you can see, the majestic oak has come down, and it has been laid to rest, the trunk in the center of the Bird Girl garden. And the garden has been enlarged to include that.
And this is the end of Bird Girl garden that's closest to the driveway, with our boy and girl reading a book. And directly behind them is a candy corn spirea.
Yes, it's given its fall color.
And then on behind there are some Miss Lemonabilia, and the deciduous tree that's there is a Natchez crepe myrtle. We call her Natalie, and she bloomed her heart out during the spring and summer.
Right.
So now she's taking her winter rest.
Yes, she is.
And there's another angle of those barberries. Just see Bird Girl there in the middle.
And these are the Sunjoy barberries.
Yes.
Sunjoy Neo?
Sunjoy Neo.
Sunjoy Neo barberries. And they've done so well for us that we've purchased more and have them in other places around our garden.
Their color is so stunning, isn't it?
It is. And we tend to do that. If we find something that works well in this South Georgia heat and humidity, can make it through the summer, then we tend to buy a few more of those and place them in other parts of our garden.
Yes, and I think that's a piece of advice that we would give anyone, any new gardener, is when you find something that grows well in your climate, at your specific location, plant more of it.
Right, and we had heard so much about, especially like this type of barberry, but not many people in our area seem to be growing it. The nurseries weren't really carrying it here. We actually had to order this online. So we only bought 3 just to test them out and see how they would do.
Yes, we've kind of learned that over the years, haven't we? You find something that may or may not work in your area, buy just maybe 3 of them, plant them, let them grow for a season. If they come back nicely, find some more.
Right, and if they had been a larger type plant, we would have only bought 1 to test it out. But since these were small, we went ahead and bought 3 to test them out.
Yes. And here, Belinda, that's a jazz hand Laura Pedlam?
It is, and we had seen this plant also in other people's gardens online, but nobody in our area seemed to have it, and actually the nursery wasn't carrying it. So this is another plant we had to order online. We bought only one to try it out, and we put it, because it has that kind of purplish mottled foliage, purple green. It is so different from our other loropetalums that we have. We placed it in the center of these sunshine ligustrums. And as I said, we only bought one because we weren't sure how well it would do. But it has done so well. I think it's about 4 times the size it was when we bought it.
Oh, it certainly is.
It's done so well that we have since ordered a few more and have put them in other places in our garden.
Yes, and it has, is it pink flowers in the spring?
It does have pink flowers in the spring, and as I said, we knew loropetalums just really grow well in our garden, but this is a very unusual one, and so we were very glad to see someone on YouTube give more definitions and tell us about it.
Yes, we certainly were happy to find that, and that's why we enjoy watching the YouTube videos. We learn about some plants that may grow in our area, and we know loropetalums certainly do.
Right, so it's great to see some of our other gardening YouTubers giving some good information on plants that we might like to try.
Certainly. And here it is, looking very pretty on a December day, highlighted by those sunshine ligustrums, as you said. And Belinda, as we move on down this garden from those sunshine ligustrums and that loropetalum, bird girl comes into the picture.
Yes, and that's one reason that we really like having some statuary or pieces of art in our garden, because even when things aren't blooming, they just bring the garden to life.
They certainly do, and this is our 3rd garden where we've had Bird Girl.
Yes, she's one of our favorite statues.
She certainly is, and I think we've said many times before, if you're near Savannah, you really should have a Bird Girl in your garden.
Right.
Beautiful piece of artwork, and in the spring when the flowers, and there'll be some poppies and other flowers that pop up around her, but right now she's standing proud on a mid-December day. And Belinda, here's the view from the long view from the other end of the Bird Girl garden, and we can see the oak logs that we are using as a edging or border around this garden, and the eagle standing proudly on the eagle's nest we've created.
Yeah, it was quite neat that we just saw a little bird that had perched on that nest that flew away just before we walked over here.
Yes, I think the birds have learned that's a statue of an eagle and not a real eagle.
Right, they're not afraid of our eagle.
But we certainly are proud of that eagle. And Belinda, here I'm noticing that we're just starting to get the yellow flowers on these Marvel Mahonias. And they'll be just full of those flowers opening up and feeding the pollinators soon, won't they?
They will. Yes, and we'll revisit these in future videos to show how they grow and how beautiful they are.
And at that point, as they begin to open, hopefully we'll get a picture of the pollinators that just are so attracted to them in the cooler winter months.
Yes, that's one reason that we really love the Mahonias as a species, and the Marvel Mahonias do wonderfully in our area, even in full sun. And the logs along the side of this bed have so many little limbs and contortions to them that we sometimes play the game that you do when you look up at the clouds and try to figure out what shape is the cloud making. Well, we sort of do that with these logs, and sometimes we see different shapes out of the gnarls and knobs sticking up from these logs. And here we see 2 parts of that massive oak that came down that we put as a center for this Bird Girl garden. And as we moved here to this garden, we actually extended the bed on the house side of this big log so that it would be artwork in the middle of the garden.
Yes, and the wood chips that are all around this log are actually the limbs that came off of this log.
Right.
We had chipped and shredded and used them as mulch.
Yes.
And Belinda, here is, you talked about the artwork. Here is a piece of that, a gnarly piece that was coming off that log that we cut and stood up there. And from some angles, it almost looks like a girl or some type of a figure. And of course, we enjoy sitting on the porch trying to figure out what it looks like from time to time in different lights and from different angles. But it looks sculptural to us.
So we hope you enjoyed the walkabout through our bird girl garden. As we told you, she's very special to us.
Yes, she is. And we enjoy just walking around and looking at all the plants at different seasons in the garden. And this season, it may not be as interesting, as colorful as other seasons, but it's still interesting to us.
Right. And we were able to find a sunny spot on this chilly day on our back porch, so we're taking advantage of this last sunny spot.
And that South Georgia sun feels really good on a cool December day.
It really does. And if you did not see the other walkabouts that we've done.
Yes, we've done two others. One was our front gardens and Barney walkabout. And the other walkabout was the privacy berm and our back gardens.
Right. So on these chilly days, if you're kind of stuck inside, you might want to go back and check those out also.
Yes, on chilly days, it's nice to view some videos and dream of at least spring sun.
Right. I think that's what we'll do when we go inside.
Certainly will. Well, Belinda, I think also if anyone's got any comments or questions about Bird Girl Garden or about any of our gardens, please leave us a comment or share with us your experiences if you have a special piece of statuary in one of your gardens that just brings a smile to your face.
Right, and also let us know if possibly you have a Bird Girl statue in one of your gardens.
That would be nice to know how other people are incorporating Bird Girl in their gardens. Well, I do think now is time for some sweet tea.
Yes, it's time for some sweet tea.
Cheers from our South Georgia garden.
Happy gardening.